Hi everyone, it's Prita from Pageant Professors. I'm here today with Eny Oh of In the Eye of the Beholder EL, the official stylist and makeup artist for Miss DC USA. Eny, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So we want to talk all things pageant hair. So we got to go and attend the Miss DC USA pageant this year, and all of the contestants and the winners had fabulous pageant hair. What is your secret to, because you styled those girls backstage, what was your secret to getting those great, big, voluminous pageant hair?
Well, first, it's a lot of hairspray, it's a lot of teasing, and it's a lot more teasing and a lot more hairspray. Those are basically the tricks to it, and a couple of shakes.
Shake it out.
Just a little shake it out and more hairspray. I would have to say pin curls are a great way to do your hair for pageantry. If you want really big, voluptuous curls for the Miss, I would definitely say pin curls or barrel curls.
So what are the, I actually don't know the difference between pin curls and barrel curls.
And it's actually really, really funny. Jessica Frith, Miss DC USA, I did her hair for the pageant, and we woke up at like 6 o'clock in the morning to do it. And she had told me that she wanted pin curls. And my pin curls are curls that basically you take your hair and you roll it flat like this to come up.
Okay.
So when I had started doing her hair, that's what I did, and she was confused. She was like, wait, no, that's not what it is. She was like, her pin curls, I guess in Texas they call pin curls a barrel curl, where you roll it like this.
Okay.
And then you pin it like this. So either,
yeah, that's what I think I've always known. That's why I thought they were kind of one and the same. I always thought it was the down and clip.
Those are actually called barrel curls. Like those, I was taught those are barrel curls, and then this was a pin curl. So I learned something new that day as well, different names.
Right.
So yeah, I learned different things. But barrel curls will give you the big voluptuous curls that you're looking for as well as pin curls. It all matters of it. The styling is what determines how big your hair gets. That is what determines how big it gets, with the teasing and hairspray. Okay. So I would say for a Miss, like your hair right now would be great for a Miss. I would just probably put a little bit more volume towards the top.
Always need more volume.
I would put more volume to the top and use hair extensions to give you a little bit more length. But this is a good look for Miss. And for the teens, I would say you could do more fun, bouncy, playful curls, just all depending on the length of your hair.
So, and to get those bouncy play curls, would that be something that's more of the pin curls?
That's more of the pin curls. Okay. And maybe not as much hairspray, a little bit of hairspray, but not as much.
Not as, not as big.
Not as big.
Okay,
not as big.
So we were talking about extensions. For, again, it took me, I think I've been competing since I was 16. I don't think I had extensions until, Maryland, USA maybe. Okay. So it took me a long time to realize that I could and needed extensions. So what advice do you have for girls who are thinking about, they want longer hair, more voluminous hair? Do you recommend extensions for every pageant contestant, or is it kind of depending?
It all depends. It all depends. If you have really, really, really long hair, I wouldn't suggest, getting extensions. What you could do is you could style it differently to give it more volume. Okay. I wouldn't suggest getting extensions. Like I said, for your hair length, my hair length, yes, I would put in hair extensions, definitely. There's different methods of hair extensions. You can get clip-ins or you can get sew-ins. A lot of my clients, it's like half and half. Okay. Some will get sew-ins and some will get clip-ins. The clip-in method to me is a little bit more easier. Yes. You just take them out, put them in when you need them. The sew-in is a little bit more permanent. You can keep them in your hair for maybe 2 to 3 months. Oh, wow. It lasts a little bit longer.
So I think we've all seen Jessica Simpson has her line of extensions, and then you go to CVS or drugstores and you see kind of the pony extenders. Yes. Now that's not what we're talking about for extensions.
No. What I'm talking about are like hair bundles. Like you can order Indian hair, Malaysian hair, Peruvian hair, any type of hair that you can think about, you can order the hair. Those are the different brands that I use for my clients. Okay. It all depends. Every client is different. Every texture of hair is different.
But these are all human hair that you can style,
hair,
wash.
It's very important to use human hair. Very, very important. Do not get synthetic hair. I always tell my clients to refrain from Remy hair. Any hair that has Remy in it, stay away from. You want 100% virgin hair, 100% untouched, never been processed. That's the hair that you want.
Interesting. So yeah, because that's definitely when I got I have the clip-in extensions. It was a world that was new. You know, they kind of came out and had 12 different options, and I had to Google because I had no idea what I was talking about. So that's really, really helpful information. So we're talking big, voluminous hair for the stage. What about for interview?
For interview, you can tone it down a little bit. It doesn't have to have as much volume.
Okay.
You can still keep the same style and everything, but not as much volume, not as much teasing.
So now what about, I've seen a lot of contestants that feel like, okay, it's interviews, so I have to be really serious and very, you know, so I've seen buns in interview, we've seen, you know, low ponytails, kind of very, do you recommend that kind of?
It all depends. It all depends. Like if I'm working with a client, I always ask them, are you working with a pageant coach?
Okay.
And if you're working with a pageant coach and they have instructed you to wear your hair a certain way, I'm not arguing with the pageant coach.
Okay.
If this is what the pageant coach said you wanted to do, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Like Jules from PR Pageant Coaches, I work with a lot of her clients as well. So she will send me over and say, this is what they need. I'm listening to Jules.
Okay.
If she said they need a bun or they need a high ponytail, that's what they're going to get. A bun and a high ponytail.
Got it. So we're not messing with that. You just...
It all depends. But if they were to ask me what I think, I probably would, you know, take a look at their face, take a look at their outfit. I would take everything into consideration and then figure it out. Figure out what I think would look best on you.
And so same thing for teens. You can do what you were going to do on stage, but tone it down with less hairspray.
Yes.
Less teasing.
Less. Everything is less. It doesn't have to be as big.
So, okay, speaking of hair as well, what are, you know, you were talking about with Jessica, you guys woke up at 6 in the morning. The pageant was at about 4.
Yeah.
So what goes into, why do it so early? Because I think a lot of girls will hold off and want to do it, you know, an hour before the pageant. What's the benefit to doing it really early in the morning?
Well, in my case, I had a lot of clients.
Okay.
That's why I had to start so early.
Okay.
So when I have a lot of clients, you start earlier and then they come back maybe an hour and a half before the pageant starts, and then we style the hair. And I'm backstage helping with touch-ups. More teasing, more hairspray, more curling, I'm back there just in case that curls drop. If we have to recurl hair, we can do all of that.
So curls dropping, that's something that we've seen happen backstage too. So if you're using the barrel curls and all of a sudden before the pageant, it suddenly just kind of goes flat.
And that happened. That did happen. That did happen during DC USA. It's simple. You have the heated rollers.
Okay.
Bring your heated rollers, put them in, heat them up, and then we'll put them in your hair. And before you go on stage, take them out, spray them, and then you're good. Let's say you don't have that much time in between, let's say swimsuit and like evening gown, take a curling iron and touch up the curls. But it's always a curling technique to it.
Interesting.
Yes.
So I guess it's kind of hard without the curling iron here, but what's your kind of favorite curling technique?
It's hard to explain. I really probably would need to have the curling iron in my hand to show you how to curl. To curl under, you can get a spiral curl like this. If you curl backwards like this, you'll probably get backwards like curls that come like that spiral downwards.
Interesting.
Yes.
We'll have to have you back for an actual demonstration of all of these techniques because, like we said, pageant hair is so important and it's kind of its own area of expertise, which you clearly have, and it's something that I think girls forget about, don't think about. So one last question before we let you go. We've seen a lot of girls transitioning hair color right before the pageant, which we try in general to dissuade anyone from doing. But what's your advice if you are making the jump and wanting to do a dramatic hair change right before the pageant? Do you have any advice to kind of how to go about it or completely stay away from it, or what is your experience when someone comes to you and it's just like, I'm blonde and I want to be brunette by next week?
I don't know if I've ever been in that situation where I've had a client just come to me by themselves without like a coach. I've had a coach come to me and say, well, I want my client to have highlights, like, you know, in her extensions or something like that. But to do a complete 100 and like 80 turnaround, no. I would say just stick to your hair color. Another thing I would like to talk about is the highlights. Stay away from chunky, thick highlights, period. If you want to do highlights, make them smaller and like throughout the head. Don't have like tiger stripes.
Interesting. So again, we talked about this in the makeup video. You've been attending a ton of pageants, kind of there front and center, seeing what the contestants are doing. What's the #1 mistake you see pageant girls make when it comes to their pageant hair?
For all of my ladies that wear extensions, the one thing that I see and everyone else in the audience sees and the judges see are my ladies that wear the clip-in extensions. Ladies, make sure that your hair is covering the clips 110%, because I can't tell you how many pageants I've been to this season alone, and I'm just sitting in the audience like, Lord, how do I tell her just to brush her hair down? I can see all of her extensions in the back. So I would definitely say make sure your hair covers your extensions, like your tracks, the wefts. Just make sure it's covered, period.
So like pulling up kind of half of your hair, clipping them in and laying
it down. Okay. Or even if you do rows, let's say you have about 8 rows in your hair, let's just make sure that everything is covered. Everything is covered.
So you might think that you're on stage and no one can see them.
I can see them.
Turns out everyone can see them.
Especially for my ladies who are, let's say, brunette, and they decided they wanted to do like a blonde and brunette type clip-in. I saw that a few weeks ago, and I'm just like, it wouldn't be so bad, you know, if the entire track was like a brunette color, but it was blonde, and I was just like, this is bad. This is really bad. This is really bad.
Oh no. Okay, so that is great advice for anyone who, you know, just double check those things before you get on stage. Now I'll have to make sure every time I'm wearing my clip-ins that I am triple checking that none of the pins are showing.
Yes.
So wonderful. Eny, thank you so much for sitting down with us. We will have to have you back to have an actual demonstration of this, because it's clear that you have so many great techniques that lots of our audience, I think, would love to hear. So thank you for coming by, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for having me.
Okay guys, that's it for this training video. We really hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, that's awesome, because we have so much more great pageant instructional content just waiting for you. In fact, we put together an awesome training course called The Secrets to Mastering Your Onstage Question. Now the best thing about this course is it's not only going to show you how to master your onstage question, but it's also going to show you how to really step up your game during the interview portion of your competition. And we all know how important interview is, right? Now here's the good news, is getting this training course is super simple and completely free. But you do have to be part of our exclusive email subscriber list, so you have to make sure to sign up. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, all you have to do is click the hyperlink below this video, and it's going to take you back to our website where you can enter in your email address and get immediate access to the course. If you're watching this video on another site, make sure to go back to pageantprofessors.com and you'll be able to opt in right from the homepage. Now, as always, we value your privacy, so you don't have to worry about us selling your email address or spamming you. All we're going to do is make sure that we're giving you the latest updates on the greatest pageant instruction that we have. So go ahead, sign up, and I'll see you on the other side.